Houlton Regional Hospital Board of Trustees is standing by its decision to close the labor and delivery unit despite intense public pushback. Houlton Regional announced earlier this month the unit would close May 2nd. Both patients and staff spoke out against the move, culminating in an emotional town hall hosted by the Maine State Nurses Association. The board posted a letter to the community on Facebook today to elaborate on their decision-making process. They say several factors have combined in recent years to make operating the OB unit unsustainable. They say studies show at least 200 births per year is ideal for patient safety and financial viability. With just 75 projected births in Houlton for 2025, board members say it's increasingly hard for OB staff to practice their skills with regularity, leading to safety concerns. They also cite the high cost of staffing and maintaining an OB unit 24/7, even when utilization is low. Officials say the financial losses associated with running a labor and delivery unit threaten the hospital's long-term viability. They say training is underway to continue to allow the hospital's emergency department to provide care for emergency births.